I always say that I don't think the country does enough for veterans and PTSD, and you were one of the people who were able to educate me more on like the after effects of
Hmm.
being overseas and really like being in the trenches. You know what I'm saying? Um, and then I think a lot of people kind of fake the funk and they'll, oh, the veterans, you better stand for the flag because of the veterans, but then you walk past homeless veterans all the time. You know what I'm saying? You don't put your money up for all the PTS. So that bothers me. You know what I'm saying? Don't say it here and then don't do it here. So I want you to kind
Right.
of speak on how you feel America handles veterans and PTSD and how real PTSD is. And if you want to touch on that topic, I'll let you touch on that topic.
Yeah. So like it's veterans as a whole. So one, I will say this. There's a lot of fakers out there. There's a lot of guys who, yes, they're veterans, but they were just in the military. They didn't actually do anything. And I mean, they all have their part, but at the same time,
Hmm.
like it you're just the
Some of them had
PTSD.
desk jobs.
Right. And but they claim that same PTSD, and I think that's where people get lost, is because there's a lot of people claiming this thing that's a very real thing, and it's not real for everybody though. Um so my backstory is I served 3 years in the army. Um I went overseas to Afghanistan, and while I was over there, I was shot. And for me, I was shot in 2009. Um, and growing up, one in a Mexican household, you're very machismo and very tough. Like you don't show emotion on that side of things. And it took me up until last year, year and a half ago, to really acknowledge that I do have PTSD. That's a very real thing, because I didn't want to seem weak. I had a wife and 4 kids, and I wanted to be strong for them. But in that same thought process, I actually was harming our relationship because I wasn't acknowledging it. I wasn't seeking help for it, and it ended up costing me my marriage. Ended up costing my time with my kids. But it's a really big thing, and for me, America, like with the whole like kneeling for the flag thing, like you and I have had conversations about that too. And for a while there, like I was on the don't disrespect the flag side of things, but at the same time, I've grown in my opinions on in my thought process on that. And as a veteran and as someone who believes in the American freedom, first of all, we all have the freedom to do whatever we want as long as we're not hurting someone else or infringing on someone else's rights. Go for it, and that's what I serve for. That's I didn't know that that's what I joined for, because I thought that there was like just one way of thinking about. But I've learned over the years that that's what I actually serve for. That's as a 33-year-old man, that's where I'm at with things.
Mhm.
If
So
and I
I've always had like a course of respect for the military, but meeting like you and then the other people we worked with, a lot of y'all were, it was a different experience for y'all. So I really got to
Right.
kind of hear the other side of it. Like, whoa, like you did what? What happened? So it definitely gave an even like deeper appreciation. And then understanding like once again, all of y'all that were working with me, we all were the same age. So I was like, damn, while I was getting drunk at frat parties, y'all was, you know what I mean? So it's like,
Right.
yo, it really put it into perspective for me. And that's something I always appreciate, as far as our relationship.
It's definitely, and I appreciate that, like on the civilian side of things, like, and it's no knock to any of you guys, because you don't really know this side of things, But like, as you know, I don't ever thank anyone for their service until I find out what they did. And
Yeah.
it's not because I'm trying to be a dick, but being in it is just I, I appreciate that you guys are there, but then there's like real deep appreciation for the guys who saw things that we shouldn't have to see.
Right.
And um like anytime a Vietnam vet comes in, I
Yeah.
I'm starstruck by these guys. Like, if I can convince them to tell me anything about their service, because back in the day with stuff like that, it didn't matter what branch you were in, you were probably seeing some shit.
Yeah.
So because Vietnam was just crazy back in the day, and so if I can get them to even sort of give me a little bit, I'm just like,
Mhm.
damn, this guy is awesome.
Yeah.
And like the World War II vets, they're almost gone, man. If I can get them to talk to me even more so, I'm just like, shit. Like, because it's a different type of war back in the day.
Right. Right.
It's the technology we have nowadays, especially with where we're fighting, like it's not the same. Like back then, we just had thousands and thousands of people shooting at each other,
Right.
Yeah.
and it's scary. I'm not